Well, joining us to break down these developments is Onur Erim. He's the president of Dragoman Strategies. How significant is this potential thaw in U.S. Turkey defense relations, and what does it actually mean for regional security?
Well, I think historically, Turkey and U.S. has been NATO allies, and then even before NATO, they had pretty good relationships. It has its ups and downs, more downs sometimes than ups. That's one thing. I think it would give a clear message as to the historical level of U.S. and Turkish allyship to begin with. So that's a very strategic, I think, message out there. Secondly, Turkey has one of the biggest and also one of the most robust armed forces in the world. This would be a addition that the Turkish Air Force has actually approved years ago. As a matter of fact, became a partner, a full-fledged partner, investing partner in the production and the development of these jets. And then just one night, U.S. unilaterally decided, and also against the contractual agreements, without any legal grounds, to put Turkey out of the program. Well, Turkey didn't stop there. It looked for alternatives. It has developed some alternatives. This has also led to a great leap in Turkish unmanned aerial systems, aerial fighting systems, as well as looking to other options, other manned
Hmm.
options. And I think right now, U.S. is maybe with under the new Trump administration is looking for a way to also get rid of this, very inconvenient and bothering problem between Turkey and USA, traditional allies, traditional NATO allies, two of the biggest armed forces in NATO, and maybe turn on a fresh page. Let's not forget the biggest one of the biggest problems that is really not talked about when Turkey, for at least the last 2 or 2.5 decades, when Turkey buys things like this, it wants absolute sovereignty on the use of it. For
Hmm.
example, in your header, you mentioned possible sales to Saudi Arabia or even other countries. You do realize that when U.S. makes these sales, they make sure that they have a technological lock if they need to ground these things or not act as against U.S. policy. When Turkey buys such products from U.S. or anywhere else, it just makes sure that maybe not immediately, but in the midterm, that it has full sovereignty and full deciding power on how they use it, where they will use it. And this is actually one of the biggest reasons why this, to me, not a big problem, actually, or the causes are not that big, why this problem has been going on for so long.
Hmm.
Let's see what happens. Trump is a very pragmatic guy. President Erdogan is also very pragmatic when it comes to the well-being of the nation, of the Turkish nation. So we'll see when the two leaders get together what the outcome is.
How might Erdogan leverage this renewed U.S. engagement for broader defense and diplomatic gains?
Ooh, that's $1 billion question. When you have Trump and Erdogan sitting on across from
Hmm.
one another on a table, we don't know who's leveraging what. And I think historically we could say that whatever is negotiated on that table are things that we could find out much later than right after the meeting. But knowing President Erdogan and having been closely watching President Trump's second term, if we have to this deal, whatever let's say if it goes through, the F-35s are Turkey's own F-35s are actually released to Turkey after all of this time. I could assure you that if such a deal goes on, there will be much more than what meets the eye. It will not just be an F-35 release.
Right.
It will not just be some of the things that we see on the table. I think the bigger parts of the deal will be under the table for, I don't know for how long, but it will be a grand deal. I would not be surprised if it covers many problems in the Middle East, many problems in Mediterranean, and even some problems in north of Turkey.